And again, don't be afraid of eating fruit. Don't be afraid of eating, things just as it's got sugar in it. That's okay, right? Your system has all day to work with that. And that's really important for your brain. Your brain runs off of glucose. So if you have a hard time waking up, if you have a hard time getting going, nourish your system right away. If you feel like, oh, it takes me an hour to really get going, nourish your system. Hey there, welcome to the Female Health Solution podcast, where we discuss women's health, hormones, and everything else in between. Join me as we dive into the tools that you need to live your healthiest life. All right, you guys, welcome back to the Female Health Solution podcast. I am your host, Dr. Beth Westy. We're going to be talking about the best and worst foods to eat for breakfast. Yay! Now, as we jump into this, one of the things that I want to mention, highlight, accentuate here is that keep in mind what is really helpful for breakfast, for a first meal, all that stuff. Sometimes some days of the month may not be helpful. Other days of the month, these needs can change throughout your life with your stress levels, with your sleep schedule, with your lifestyle, right? And as your hormones change, right? What you do at 25 may be very different than what you do at 55. And that's okay. So when people say something like, this is the best food to eat for breakfast, for who and for when? Right? Right? Excuse me, right? Because I will be honest, as a mother of 3 children, there were mornings that I would wake up, I'm going to say again, because I would have been up between 3 and 4 a.m., feeding a baby, changing a diaper, all of those things, and then put the baby down just to sleep again for maybe an hour or hour and a half, hopefully get one more sleep cycle in there, and then wake up. And one of the last things on my mind was a hearty, nutritious breakfast. Oh, you should meal prep for it. Shut it. Shut it, Kathy. No one has time for that when you've got 3 babies to take care of and you're going to school full time and working part time. Sorry. Yeah. But sometimes when you're so sleep deprived or you're not feeling yourself and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't even make a meal. I know I need protein. I know I need nutrition. I know I need food, but I can't handle a lot for my stomach right now. That's going to make me nauseous. I'm so tired. I feel sick almost. What the heck? Right? And you're like, I need a little something, maybe just a piece of toast, which you're like, dang it, that's not enough protein. What am I going to do? Right? So all of this to say, when we talk about the best and worst foods to eat, some of the best foods are to accommodate with where your life is right now. And also know that a lot of those things, a lot of those stages are not permanent. And that stuff does shift and change, right? My kids are now all teenagers. It's very different now in the morning for me than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Well, 15 years ago, I only had 2 kids. But you know what I mean? Like, so thinking about it in terms of that sometimes is really helpful because you can get really caught up in this. I'm not eating the perfect thing for breakfast. I'm not doing this or this. I should be XYZ and I'm failing myself because I'm not doing it like this or like that. You're not failing yourself. It's not the end of the world. And remember, day to day, there are different things that your body needs for whatever your circumstances are. So with that in mind, when we talk about the best things to eat for breakfast, one of the main nutrients to get in is protein. And however you do that is fine. There are mornings that I will get in, and this is right now my favorite protein shake. Hopefully you can see this. It's just called Breakfast Blend. Sorry, this is so unattractive. I cut my finger slicing or cutting potatoes. I sliced my finger just a little. And then I decided to paint my nails, but I didn't paint this nail yet. I have to wait a couple of days. But this is from Potential Power Nutrition right there. And there's 24 grams of protein. There is 15 grams of carb. There's 3 grams of fat. Like, this is the perfect macro blend, as well as it has all these vitamins and minerals and everything, and it's organic and it's delicious and it's easy on the stomach and you can get it in quickly. You can mix it up really, really quick. You can put a little coffee and then that's one of my favorite ways to get it in the morning, right? If you want to get a little Greek yogurt and mix this in and make yourself a smoothie bowl, fantastic, right? Whatever you're in the mood for. When I am craving like a chocolate treat at night after dinner, this is one of my go-tos. I'll take some peanut butter and some water and make a little paste, mix this in, delicious, absolutely delicious, like cookie dough. So it's so helpful to have something like this on hand when you're like, oh, what's some of the best things you can have for breakfast? I mean, eggs, chicken sausage, all that stuff, fresh fruit, right? Some, gluten-free oats, protein, all that stuff. Sure, yes. But making sure you're getting in some type of protein. If I'm in a hurry, I go to something like this. If I haven't slept well, I have a hard time tolerating a lot of food in the morning. I mean, if I have slept really well, I get up, I have my snack and everything else, I do a heavy workout. I'll come back and my first meal, big breakfast, 4 eggs, cottage cheese on top, 2 pieces of toast and fruit, whatever I've got around for fruit, right? So I'm eating a really big breakfast with lots of protein. But that's if I had activity and I slept well and all that stuff. If I've been really stressed, I did not sleep, I can't do it. But I know I still need to get that protein in and it's essential. So that's one of the best things. One of the worst things to do for breakfast is skip breakfast, is to skip eating in the morning. Oh, I fast till noon. You're missing out on taking advantage of when your metabolism is at its peak. If you're going to restrict calories or restrict meals or narrow your feed window, it is honestly best to do it earlier in the day. Later on in the day, your body starts to wind down, your digestive system winds down. So, if you're going to work with your physiology naturally, eat in the morning and cut out that last meal of the day. That's what makes a big difference. It's just as simple as that. So the worst thing you can do for breakfast is no breakfast. And then after that, some of the hardest stuff on your system is really like straight coffee with no other nutrient in it. No, like if you're not doing collagen and coconut oil or healthy fats in there or something like that, right? And then you eat straight processed sugar. Really hard on your gut, really hard on your system, hard on your, digestive process, like what the liver has to do to keep up with that. Woo! Right? And coffee's a diuretic. And if you're not hydrating and doing all those other things. And that's not to say that I've never done that, right? I just know I'm going to pay for it. Or I have to make sure really soon after if I eat, this is when I would do this. So there was this bakery that was in my hometown, and it was a gluten-free bakery, and it was literally the best thing ever. The best thing ever. And they were open for, I think, 15 years. They were called Bittersweet Bakery, gluten-free bakery, literally the best muffins, the best donut holes. Oh my God, pumpkin bars. That's what I had at my wedding. Pumpkin bars. They're pumpkin bars from there. Because cake couldn't touch them. They were so good. Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, if my husband wanted to dig himself out of a hole he worked himself into, he would bring donut holes home. So if I woke up and there was donut holes there, I'd be like, oh, hello. Right? But I knew after eating that, like, okay, within 20 minutes, I need to get something else in my system, right? I need to get some food, some eggs, some sausage, some something, some protein and healthy fats in to counterbalance that sugar. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard on the system. So that's some of the biggest things to do for breakfast. But again, like realizing in the context of everything, the most important thing you can do is eat, right? Within 30 minutes to an hour at most of when you naturally wake up, right? If you're like, oh, I wake up and I go to the gym right away. Okay, you need to eat a little snack, balance your blood sugars. Don't do a heavy workout, especially women. Please, 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 for the love, do not do a workout on an empty stomach. Like, I'm going to go lift weights and all I had was water. What? Oh, that's so hard on your system. Get a little snack in, right? I mean, even half a protein shake, half a protein bar, something like that. This your body can digest and process really quickly and easily. It's going to help with your blood sugar regulation, all of the things, and not be harsh on your system. And then after your workout, you can refuel, re-nourish your system and really get that breakfast in. That's just fine. But you're still having something within the first 30 minutes to 60 minutes of waking up. Yeah, that's really the most important thing. Protein, fats, some carbs. And again, don't be afraid of eating fruit. Don't be afraid of eating, things just as it's got sugar in it. That's okay, right? Your system is, has all day to work with that. And that's really important for your brain. Your brain runs off of glucose. So if you have a hard time waking up, if you have a hard time getting going, nourish your system right away. If you feel like, oh, it takes me an hour to really get going, nourish your system. Get everything in. The other thing that there's that's in here is there's natural minerals in here too. That is really important. People are obsessed with this. I do an adrenal cocktail and da 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 da. Okay, it's like juice and some minerals and salts and stuff, and then like coconut water. I mean, there's a ton of different ways you can make it super duper, but this is like the same stuff, but you're also getting the protein and stuff in there. I'm all about making life easier, more streamlined, less complicated all the time to keep up with everything, everyone, and life. So yeah, so that's what I got for you for like best and worst things to eat. And then also realize it's okay. It is okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get down about, oh, I didn't eat exactly this. That's okay. Did you at least get something in? Was it close to matching your nutrient levels? Was it something you could tolerate? Right? And then as the body ages, right? If you are going into perimenopause or menopause, remember, it's still very, very important to keep encouraging your digestive system to function, your blood sugar levels to regulate, and you need to do things like eat enough protein to maintain your muscle mass. That's one of the most important things for the female body as the body ages. Muscle mass. You cannot go wrong with that. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always check the show notes for any tips, tricks, things like that. But if you can't find the link for this, just send me a message. I will send you over the link to this. This is like literally my favorite thing. I just heard from somebody else. They were like, this is so good. I was like, I know. It's so good. It really is. So, all right. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. If you would like more information, just head on over to drbethwesty.com for all the show notes and information from today's episode. And if you're looking for more community, more support, you can find and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and I would love to see you there.